Hey everybody, I have returned. Got a nice donation recently. I appreciate that very much. Here's where I'm at. Here's what I've got done. It's been a fun ride. I gotta say that. I got the indicator sprockets and indicator chains up. And when you turn this wheel, it turns both wheels and both chains. I got a lot to talk about. First thing is I've only got grainy pictures of this area, which I'm going to show you right now so you kind of know what I'm talking about. This is B-52 52217 before it was restored. And these are similar to the pictures I've been using, but there's the problem right there. My theory is that is a self-contained assembly that just has one part number in the IPB and it's not made up of several parts. If that's the case, the bad news is, well, there is no real good news. The bad news is I can't see inside of it and I really don't understand how it works, but I do know what it does. Back here, when you turn these sprockets, or when you turn these wheels, the cable running back to the tails goes to some screw jacks, and those screw jacks adjust the trim tabs. It takes a lot of turning to get those jacks to adjust. And of course, these chains go real fast. These chains need to go really slow because there's only like a 0 and then like a 2 up, 4 up, 2 down, and 4 down. And you know, it doesn't take much. And you've completely eliminated the readout on the indicator. So what those drums do, and I can see from other aircraft where you turn the trim wheels, the indicator moves really slow. It slows those drums down. I theorize that there is an internal gear inside of that drum as well as a cam, but I don't know. I suppose I could just start building things and hope for the best, but that's a lot of work in a very, very confined space. But let's go back here to the IPB and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Right there, part number 37. And I think that this is maybe the cover for it. Here's a gear that would be an internal gear. And this, I believe from looking at other pictures of similar stuff on the B-36, that this is a cam that goes in here and it's offset, and that's how it slows down. So your chain would transfer energy from the sprocket through these guys here and then somehow turn him so it would, you know, you got a clockwise motion to a counterclockwise or something, or a fast to a slow. It's confusing. I've been trying to figure out all day, just kind of get a grasp on it, but nothing's really blossomed yet. The light bulb hasn't really come in on my head. Another problem that I have is this is the mount for the idler, and really its purpose, other than delivering torque from A to B tube, you got this idler, which it mounts here, so it's kind of offset from these guys. And here he is right there. And part number 62, which I mentioned in an earlier video, is a bearing, which I'm going to show you the part number because I cannot find that bearing on eBay, on WorthPoint, on any sales history, in any old PDFs, in any technical orders about bearings. It's like it doesn't exist. And I know it's about 1 inch because that's a 1/4 inch castle nut. So it's, you know, it's not that big. I'd probably find a substitute, but I like to have the original part. Well, 62. But here it is. It's an A781-3, and it's made by Chrysler Corporation. Chrysler does make some bearings, but I can't find the actual part number that I need. What I'm working on now for the idler has 61 links, where the indicators had 67 links. But this is where I'm at right now. Currently right here. This wheel is bigger than these two because it's about the size of this drum, which you can see over here on this picture. What I'm trying to figure out right now is just how big this mount is. I know it goes down here, but at the same time the chain kind of goes in there, so the sprocket would be there. And I think it's on this floor, or I really don't know. It's going to be a trial and error thing. But you can see mine. It's got a little bit of room. Plus, there's going to be a big cutout. I just got done making this big sprocket right here. And that's going to go into the sprocket right down there. And the idler, of course, will be down there someplace. But I really don't know what to do here. I'm hoping, because I've pretty much exhausted everything I can do, and my only practical, which is not even practical, but I would have to either find one, which is an impossibility, or I would have to have access to one in the real aircraft, which it takes, even if somebody was gung-ho about accessing this for me, it takes a lot of screws to get this in there. And you know, once we get the drum in your hand, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to see inside of it unless it's taken apart. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there. Lots of unknowns. But that's where we're at. Just to be, I've built that part, these spacers, two of these, which is the other one over there. I built the drum, torque tube A, torque tube B. I built the drum. I built that sprocket. Instead of using taper pins, because I have to machine them and everything, I'm just going to use screws, or not screws, but AN bolts. I built that, which is going to have to be extensively modified. Of course, I have the wheels, which, interestingly, I don't know if you can even see them. I wish I could take this thing apart, but one day I'm going to do a video where I take everything apart. But these are done. And the way these things attach is inside of here, there's a hole and it's threaded. These have just enough thread on them and they protrude with a little hole. So you get them on here and you thread them on there real tight when the wheel's off from the console, and you pop them in there. And then I'm showing you, well, there's just no good perspectives where I can show you, but ultimately on this sprocket that runs up to here, there's a pin, or in my case, a bolt. There's a bolt there and a bolt there. So when you take that bolt out and you take that bolt out, you can pop these wheels out, and then the torque tubes go out, and you have to remove the sprocket, and of course this pin and or bolt, which will be here. That's a lot. This has been a fight. It has. I thought the jet console internals was crazy. This thing is very, very unforgiving, but I do love the way it sounds. I suppose that's about enough for me. Oh, I've had a few people point out that I'm no longer on Facebook. There's a good reason for that, is because I'm no longer on Facebook. I've been on there since 2007, and I've been thinking about it, considering it for a considerable amount of time. I'm tired of the content. It's no longer really relevant nor applicable to me. It seems like every time I get on there, I'm seeing nothing but inflammatory pages that are geared exclusively to garner a reaction from me. A click or a like or a dislike or a comment. That makes people money. And that's all the content that I was seeing. I'm not seeing anything from my friends. I'm not seeing relatively any airplane stuff. And when I do, I have to fight to find it. Between the politics, the religion, and just the news stories of this silly comet that's supposed to be an alien spacecraft and being bombarded by the 80s. If it's not Back to the Future, it's the Titanic, and I click on this stuff perpetually to get it off, and it just keeps coming back. And combine that with the utter addiction that Facebook is, especially to me. Every time I sit down, I click on Facebook. I tap on Facebook. Every time I have a thought, I think about putting it on Facebook. I take a picture or see a sunset, I want to put it on Facebook. I want to get on Facebook and tell people not to be on Facebook. So I deal with addictions. I don't play around. So I'm done with Facebook. And that's all there is to it. But the good news is YouTube is not going nowhere. And I'll be publishing or posting more content in the community section, build pictures especially. So you'll have that. The good news is I found that I have a lot more time, and I'm a lot happier when I'm not on Facebook. So if you've been contemplating it, it kind of hurts for the first day or two, like quitting smoking. But once you get used to it, it's a good thing. I'll see y'all next time.